do swear that I will faithfully and diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the high office.
So help me God.
Every year, the ministers pass resolutions that are tabled for adoption by the leaders.
Greetings, you're watching Beyond the Ballot on Level Set. My name is Jackie Shabangu, and today we are bringing to you a special coverage of the first presidential Imbizo of the 7th government administration taking place in the East End of Johannesburg at Tsakane, where the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, will be for the first time in his head of state of the 7th administration, engage the people, of this community and other close by communities across around this one on issues that are affecting them, such as crime, unemployment and poverty, with an intention to find some form of solution and a basis for collaborative governance between themselves and the people. Let's hear what people are yet to say to the President. Stay tuned.
We are now going to start with the formalities of our Imbizo so that we can be in a better position to spend this day fruitfully for what it is meant to be. Your Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, words of greetings to you. The Premier of the province of Gauteng, Comrade Panyasa Lesofe, His Lordship, the Mayor of EKURHELENI, Mayor Kagasa, together with members of your mayoral committee and other councillors who are here today, ministers of various government departments who are here, new from the box, given very serious mandates to take forward development of this country. Deputy ministers who are also here in their numbers to come and be part of this important meeting. Leaders of royalty, led by the National House and other representatives of various institutions who are here this morning. Leaders, MECs, councillors and mayors of other cities and towns from Gauteng province who are here with us today. Leaders of many community structures from across the province of Gauteng, and as well as this region, the metro where we are this morning, of EKURHELENI. Gratau Jaspagase, Keledi Medisenga Fela Alona, Alhonoga Fitla, Moko Panong Eholuya Imbizo, convened by your president to come and have an opportunity to interact with your own government. Director generals and other senior government officials who are here to come and listen to all your presentations, your submissions that are going to form part of the package of presentations to be taken back to various departments for implementation. You are also warmly welcomed to this important meeting.
Ministers and deputy ministers, the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza, Lesufi, MECs and executive mayors present, traditional leaders and faith-based organizations, distinguished guests, DGs and HODs, government officials, members of the media, and community of Tsakane, community of Duduza, communities of Kwatema, halala Kwatsaduza, halala, halala Tsakane, halala, halala Duduza, halala, halala Tema, halala, and the broader community of EKURHELENI, halala Katlehong, halala, halala Fosloras, halala, halala Thokoza, halala, halala Tembisa, Daveton, Dizaputini, halala. And the Gauteng at large, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Molweni, Sanbonani, Dumelang, Nda, Abusheni. It is a great honor to stand before you on this auspicious occasion on behalf of the city of EKURHELENI. We are delighted to host this momentous inaugural presidential Imbizo for the 7th administration as led by our president, His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. This momentous event comes as we celebrate 3 decades of our democracy. As we reflect on the past 30 years as a country, we must take lessons forward and demonstrate that we have learned from our past. The 24 years of the city of EKURHELENI as existent has been characterized by unmatched dedication on the part of various administrations as a city. This has seen radical transformation in the lives of ordinary people, particularly those in townships and informal settlements.
Mr. President, I've got a serious complaint, very serious complaint, which I think I'm also happy to see my premier is here. The problem enginayo, siyasebenza EKURHELENI, we are not being paid. As small businesses, EKURHELENI is making us poorer and poorer every day. Kunabantu abayindlalifa zala EKURHELENI. They always get opportunities, they are always get paid every day without issues. Uma thina sifuna umsebenzi kumele sisape kubo. Once you sub under them, they make sure that they destroy you with EKURHELENI. Kindly, Mr. President, with due respect, can you kindly please intervene with my finances was EKURHELENI, because as black people, we also need to grow. And I understand into ukuthi umuntu bazomnikeza umsebenzi for the past 30 years. As a multi-billionaire, whilst other people are suffering under him. We are doing refuse removal. We've got trucks that we have to run. We've got diesel that we need to pay and pour in our trucks. We also have to pay people every day or every month, because it's our responsibility as subs to make sure that our families they do benefit. Really, it's an outcry. I think we are about 15 around here. That is why I said I can't leave this opportunity with due respect to everyone. Still intervention. Thank you.
As farmers, we want access to land for us to plow and defeat food insecurity. I think abantu abaningi bamkhohli uKhrisani. He had his 888 program, which was about fighting hunger. Now we're saying today that program must be brought back to life, Comrade Sufi. We're saying the land, electricity, water, infrastructure, funding and training of small farmers is essential. It's very painful ukuthi in this country fanele ukhuluma isilungu esingale sika queen, kodwa you can't put food on your table. Abantwana bethu abafundiswa. ukuthi batshale ezikolweni. We must go back to the land. That's the main thing. Lastly, we want ukuthi imali ihlale kwi-township economic development areas, Comrade Sufi. We want the community banks to be built here. Kube ne EKURHELENI cooperative bank. One, because asifuni ukuthatha imali zethu siloku sifida niyabazi. Angeke ngibabize ngamagama.
On behalf of the children that we are ferrying to school and the industry at large. Mr. President, we are an organized structure. We are democratically elected. Our last election was on the 22nd of May. We are really saddened by the accidents that are happening, and we're saying to the President and the government at large, including roads and transport. As an organized structure, we are here, Tuma Tina, to be your voice down there, to unify the province of Gauteng, to eliminate, to regulate and monitor our industry. One death is too many. We don't like what's happening. And to the Premier of Gauteng, Riri, why are you denying the children the schools in the areas where they are staying? If there are schools around the areas, there won't be these accidents. So, if the schools can be built, these together as the residents, as a proudly South African and the industry of cats, we are going to eliminate this. We don't want any more accidents. This is too many. We are losing our future. We're saying, the government, I'm still going to repeat that. We are your voice down there. Hear us, especially roads and transport. You are the one that's monitoring us, that's regulating us. We are partners and all other transport modes and the road users. Together in this country, okay, we can eliminate this.
Zizawuphendulwa. This is how we always run Imbizos. We listen to almost 50 people, and thereafter we give answers. And the ministers and deputy ministers are here to give answers. So I want everybody to sit down, because siyophendula ke manje. Masihlaleni phansi so that we can address the issues. Let me start off by thanking everybody for being here. Ngiyanibonga nonke. Ningixolele ukuthi ngifake ibuko ama Dimas. Kune problem yehlo lami. So odokotela, they are working on it. But namhlanje ngithe noma banginike sick leave, I must come here ukuthi ngizoba nani lapha. Yebo, no president uyayithola sick leave. Nami banginike yona, but it was important ukuthi ngize lapha ukuthi ngizomamela, because this is a presidential Imbizo. Now, a presidential Imbizo involves the whole of government. And that is why we've got our ministers here, we've got our deputy ministers, we've got our premier, we've got our executive mayor, and officials at national level. We've also got our MECs, bakhona lapha, and everybody has been listening very carefully, and we've been taking notes. I've taken notes on everything that has been said. But I know that ministers and deputy ministers and officials have been listening very carefully and taking down everything. So the way we work is that after you have made your input, jeka kaofela lona le tlhagisitse dipotso tsa lona le ditletlebo tsa lona, ha re fetsa go le mamela, I will then ask those ministers who need to respond, and I will call them up one by one, and deputy ministers, if the issues relate to what you have asked, they will come up and explain briefly. Now, I am very pleased, even though one of you said as votelanga a government of national unity. Sine government of national unity. And I'm very pleased, Uguti, today, for the very first time, we've got an executive composed of ministers and deputy ministers, as well as, yes, the Premier and his MECs from various parties. We are all here. Some of them are not here for a number of reasons, but those who are here, we are from different parties because we are the government of national unity. And we formed this because that is what you wanted with the elections results. You did not give a single party the absolute majority to govern our country. And as a result, it was the right thing to do to put together a government of national unity so that we can unite the nation, we can be all working together to address the challenges that you have put up, that are facing us. Now, Minister Thabisa, he did describe what the purpose of this Imbizo is. And that's precisely the purpose. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Now I am going to be referring to some of the issues that you have raised. And I do want our ministers to then come to the fore to come and answer a number of the issues. One of the issues that was raised by Abantu who were representing other organizations as well is the issue of a business, a local business or small business. Minister Ndabeni is here, but she will also come with Minister Tau, because Minister Tau then deals with the broader issues of an enabling environment so that those who are in business can function and can run their businesses. Minister Ndabeni will come and talk about what we are doing with small business. And a number of you said you want support for small business and so forth, the procurement process. So Minister Ndabeni, Stella Ndabeni, come to the fore, and at the same time, Minister Tau, be nearby as well. You heard the issues that were being raised. So I'm going to be bringing up ministers to answer, to address the issues as I heard them. And we will cover izinto eziningi enizivezela apha ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi zonke izinto enizivezile sikwazi ukuziphendula. Let me immediately say, I'll deal with it later. Minister Ndabeni.
So what we are going to do, President, together with the National Department, is that from now on, when we build new houses, we are going to take the fingerprints of the owner so that when we give you the house, we are no longer going to give you a key to enter the house. You must open with your finger. And if the finger is not working, it's not your house. So that we sort out all these historic problems that we had. Secondly, President, on the issue of housing, we believe gone are the days where everyone must get an RDP house. We are of the view that we must identify land, ensure there is water, there is electricity, there is sewer. We hand over to those that can finish and build their own houses in their own format, and leave only the disabled and elderly people to have RDP houses, and those that are unemployed. But those that can build, they just need their own sites so that they can build on their own. The second area, President, is the area of the schools that Ukoko came here to identify that they are informal schools. President, these informal schools are so many. If you fix one, the other person complain about another one. We approached our national government, President, and you are happy. We said, President, give us money in advance so that we change all these informal schools in Gauteng at once. So you have given us the money. There are 18 informal schools. They've already appointed contractors. We will change them from being informal schools to brick and mortar in the next 2 years or so that we finish informal schools. The last part, President, is the issue of our old towns. Ethiopia se Brakpan, Ethiopia se Springs have been taken over. We need to reclaim those particular towns. We need to reclaim those particular towns, including Johannesburg, CBD. So we are working very hard to ensure that we put up systems with local government. Yenyaupe President, space guabo. We will sort out the Nyaupe problem in our lifetime. Thank you so much, President.
In relation to the Township Economic Development Act, provincial government ya Gauteng mo tlase ga rema ne le rep Makhura kana ko ke rep Anyaza le Sufiano ila thamolao o bitswang Township Economic Development Act. Molao o kwa go thusa dikgwebo tse ko locationeng so that batho ba ko locationeng ba kgone gore ba ka fitlhela ditšhalete le thuso e nngwe e leng gore ka kgona go itlisa ko bathong in terms of the Township Economic Development Act. Mo tlase ga Township Economic Development Act, re le national government re berekisana le Gauteng Enterprise Propeller e leng gore ke yone e ntshang madi a go thusa batho mo dikgwebong. Re na le partnership e leng gore e thusa batho in different ways. Ba bang ba na le di-bakery, ba bang ba na le di-shopo, le kgwebo tse ding le tse ding tse di leng teng. The most critical criteria ko gore ha re re township economy, re bua ka batho ba e leng gore ba tsetswe mo Afrika Borwa, ba nna mo locationeng, ba na le dikgwebo ko locationeng, so that we are able to assist people in the townships to have competitive and effective businesses. Se seng se tlhagisitsweng ke Mayor Re Xhakaza, it is important gore re godise aerotropolis mo EKURHELENI. Se ke tla se tlhagisang ko gore re dumelane gore license ya special economic zone ko OR Tambo will be extended to other parts of the province in Gauteng. In that way, we are able to expand the scope of the special economic zone and create greater capacity, even inside EKURHELENI, as you expand the zone. So we'll be working very closely with the provincial government, Excuse me. Se seng ke gore re na le program e bitswang Black Industrialist. Gora gore bo rakgwebo le bo mmakgwebo ba ileng gore they are into industrial development. They are into producing things. Ba batho ba bantsho ba kgona go tla ko go rona, and we can assist them ka di grant. Re ka ba adima le tšhelete, so go na le re ba fang, go na le re ba kadimang yone, so that they are able to create and produce products, and better still, the products tseo di ruwa ko locationeng. We always say gore it doesn't mean gore ha o le ko locationeng you have to be stuck by being small. The township does not translate to small. We must create enterprises and entrepreneurs that are competitive in industrial sectors, even in the townships. We must revive the industrial parks, and one of the programs, Erling Busy is about the revival of the industrial parks, because many of these industrial parks are no longer effective. But to set the industrial parks. And we have now dedicated money towards the revival of industrial parks so that the industrial parks in the townships can be more effective, and we'll use our grants to support those industrial parks. Our fellow president, in terms of lottery, but we also have facilities in the National Lotteries Commission. More than people that have social enterprises, the crèche and other social programs, two sets of government. You are able to apply for lottery, and there's money that's been set aside to support those programs. So it's about you identifying the criteria of projects, the projects that you have, and match them to the criteria so that we're able to support social development programs and also social enterprise programs throughout the country. And you have the right to make an application to the national.
The APWP, which is the expanded public works program, is entering the 5th phase. We know that in the previous phases there were problems, especially about one, recruitment, ebengeko transparent. Secondly, about sustainability of those jobs. We have said in this 5th phase, phase 5, we want to create jobs that are, one, impacting on service delivery, two, that are sustainable and creating skills or business enterprises for people. So the focus is on waste management, hence we have came with a concept of one township, one recycling facility. The second is on pothole patching, and the third is on bricks paving. And we believe that if we localize on this, we'll be able to create more jobs. We are serious that those who benefit must also be given skills and be trained to become self-sustainable. The last question was on women in construction. We have the Construction Industry Development Board that look on programs of empowering women in construction. Yesterday evening, we even hosted awards. We have annual awards where we give awards to women, especially between grade 1 and grade 6. We want all of those who are interested to register with CIDB. We want to ensure that women are part of the construction industry. South Africa works because public works works. Thank you.
Minister
Thank you,
Mantashe. is a resident of EKURHELENI.
Yes.
He was once appointed a mayor for 3 hours. And then he was removed.
Thank you, President. You will remember that South Africa used to be a top gold producer in the world. We are now number 13, and we're number 4 in the continent because gold mining has declined. And that is reflected in 42 questions that were raised here. There was not a single question about mining, not one. But let me just tackle a few things. That there are no questions reflect that mining has closed down in the East Rand. There is no Maridale, there's no Grootvlees, there's no ERPM. You can count the mines, all of them closed down. So there's no mining here. And what was a problem was illegal mining. It was raised by the Minister of Water Affairs, not by the audience. And the illegal mining is a problem that we've been addressing. At least 75 holes have been sealed in the East Rand in rehabilitating the area. But we're working with the police. When you are doing illegal mining, I want even those who are here know that I'm not your minister. Your minister is Minister Mkhunu. If you are in illegal mining, your minister is Minister Mkhunu. You are engaged in criminal activity. In our debate, they said I must look after illegal mining. I said to them, then that means cash heist must be given to the Minister of Finance. Yes. So we all agreed that it is a criminal activity and the minister responsible for criminal activities is Minister Mkhunu. But
it's really giving me joy. And as the Department of Public Service, we are trying our level best to professionalize civil servants. That will ensure that when they serve our people, they serve them with dignity and respect. And also, we are trying to bring back that public servants which was respected by all and was honored because of the service that they were giving to our people. In relation to the issue of councillors, the National School of Government has a program, Honourable President, that seeks to capacitate leaders from the executive to mayors, in particular councillors, and also Amakosi, because we've realized that some of our people in relation to leadership, it's not because they don't want to serve or they are lazy, but they lack that capacity which they need in order to execute their duties. All we can say as the department is that we understand that our duty is very important because all our priorities as a country and all our endeavors as government will never give us the result that we want if the public service is not professionalized. Because I always say the department that I lead does what the heart does to the body. From all our initiatives, even when we speak to issues of job creation.
There is a provincial tender which is in the process of being adjudicated that will deal with the issue of bus services across the province, and that tender will be concluded by the end of the year. Let me also say that in a dense urban situation, as we have in Gauteng, with many, many different cities, one of the things that we are busy doing is restoring the passenger rail lines that exist in the province. And we've already restored the lines between the areas in Tshwane and the center of the city. We've restored certain lines between Johannesburg and Soweto. We've restored the line between Germiston and Johannesburg. But we are still working on the lines here in the broader city of EKURHELENI. And that work is very important because rail, passenger rail, must be the backbone of an urban transport system, because when we had a functioning rail system, it was much cheaper for working people to get to work. It was much cheaper for children to get to school, and we have to work hard to improve the situation with regard to PRASA, and I'm optimistic that we will be able to do that. Let me also say, Mr. President, that one of the huge problems we face throughout our country is the question of road safety. It is absolutely unacceptable that 10,000 people are losing their lives on our roads every year. And myself and Deputy Minister Hlengwa are in the process of developing a new road safety strategy, which involves not just government and traffic police, but will involve the citizens of our province and organizations such as the Scholar Transport Organization that stood in front of us. Because unless each and every one of us are going to change our own behavior, we are not going to be able to reduce the road deaths on our roads. So that is something we want to work on, Mr. President. Lastly, we are
working very close with your office to make sure that makuphela inyanga go-August iyaqala i-process iyaqhubeka. Siphinde President through UIF ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kwakune budget ekhona eyapresentwe ngango 23 billion ezobhekelela ekakhulukazi ukuqeqeshwa kuyigaba ngokuhlukahlukana nakuma sectors ahlukahlukene kakhulukazi nabantu abaphila nokukhubazeka. Ngizwile Mr. President khona okhulumile ikakhulukazi ngabantu abakhubazekile ukuthi bayaqeqeshwa baphinde bengawuthola umsebenzi. As the department, we are working very close with the sectors kakhulukazi abantu abaphila nokukhubazeka ukuthi mase beqeqeshiwe kuma learnerships la bakhuluma ngawo baphinde baplacewe la bazosebenza khona bekwazi ukuyiphilisa. Kodwa Mr. President, asithi bazoqashwa kodwa siyafuna bakhande amathuba omsebenzi kuba yiphilise bona ngamabhizinisi sisebenzisana ngokubambisana no small businesses ngoba akuthina sonke.
As I said, this is the first presidential Imbizo since the national elections. So yini bokuqala kilona bapeli ba go ba le pitso. So siyanibongela nina abantu balapha eKURHELENI ukuthi you are the very first. This administration will go on for 5 years, but you were right in the front position of having a presidential Imbizo. Abanye bazawubuza indlela kini because nina nihamba phambili. Siyanibongela. Now this Imbizo is part of the district development model approach that we launched in 2019. A district development model is to enable us to focus on a district. EKURHELENI is one of our districts. We've got 52 districts throughout the country. Here in Gauteng, you've got 3. So a district approach enables us to look more closely at what we need to do, working together with business, government, community-based organizations, and a variety of other key role players. And I'm particularly pleased today that giving life to the district development model, we have also a number of business people here. We often don't have many business people. We usually have, yes, members of the community and government, where government listens to our people. But today we also listened to people who are in business, who are running businesses here in EKURHELENI. They've given us a lot of insights because Imbizo is about government listening, but going beyond just listening, but working together with our people as they face different challenges. So today, we have really moved to perfecting this approach and this model by the inputs, the suggestions, and of course the challenges that were raised by many who are in business, in community organizations, or NGOs, and our ordinary people, or mama, or koko, or tata, who stood up to come and speak. Now, we had almost 50 people speaking. At an Imbizo, usually, we go to 30. But today, because you are the very first, Nina, in this 7th administration, we felt to go to let's listen to more of you. But I'm also particularly pleased to go to a number of you gave us your proposals and your suggestions as well as your complaints in writing. Abanye bazena ma placard, amakhulu. We have got those placards. Abanye, they did make their inputs online. Abanye did go to the desk and put forward their views. Now, a number of people in our country look down on this process here in Imbizo, but it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. It's very valuable for us as government to listen to our people. Ministers and deputy ministers do have a number of Imbizos as they execute their work in various places. So the presidential Imbizo takes the whole district. And from here, we will be going to other districts until hopefully we will finish them all. So this is a valuable process, and many people, or some people say it's too expensive. Yes, it may look expensive, but we believe, Uguti, this is money well spent, interacting with our people. There's nothing more important for a government than that. Yes, as we came to this Imbizo, there were a number of our people who raised concerns. And some of the concerns had to do with the way the Imbizo has been arranged. They raised concerns, Uguti, they feel excluded. Uguti, some of their business, not only opportunities, but their business contributions could have been given a chance. It could be this or that, because having an Imbizo is a big operation, which involves a number of aspects. Zoguti abantu bakwazi ukuhlala kahle, itulo, itende, and so on and so on. So the mayor spent the night interacting with our people. Some mistakes were made. What I always say in government is that when we do events, we must use local people. Beze bona bazosinceda. Singalethi abantu abaphuma ngaphandle. The rand and the economy must circulate here amongst our people. That's what a number of you said. So we've learned valuable lessons, and we are very pleased that those who had concerns did raise them with the mayor, they did raise them with the premier, and the minister also participated in addressing these issues. We will be perfecting this whole process. We are very pleased in the way you made your inputs. Akuzange kube nokugida nama-protest, kuye kwaba nabanye abayi-2 kuphela bengafuni ukumamela kahle, kodwa baye bangena endleleni nabo. So ngiyanibonga, and I congratulate you all for the manner in which this Imbizo has been held. Ningasishayela izandla nani ngokwenu. So I'm very pleased that the Executive Mayor and the Premier outlined precisely how we are trying to address our priorities. We have said as the Government of National Unity, our key priority is to grow the economy and to create jobs and to fight poverty. But to do this, we need strong municipalities. We need EKURHELENI must be a strong municipal district area. It is municipalities that are the engine rooms of development because they provide the services to our people, but they also are economic engine rooms. So EKURHELENI Metro municipality is particularly well positioned as an economic driver of job creation. EKURHELENI is a major transportation hub, but apart from that, EKURHELENI is the manufacturing capital of our whole country. Izinto ezimanufacturwayo, most of them are made here in EKURHELENI. The factories of our country, most of them are here. So EKURHELENI plays a very important role in the life of our province and in the life of our country and our economy. It is home to Africa's largest and busiest airport, OR Tambo International Airport. Metro Lena is also a major center for freight corridors in our country. This makes the Metro a substantial economic player because manufacturing is one of those key contributors to the GDP of our nation. And already we have opened the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone, as Minister Tau was saying, as well as our mayor. And here we are investing billions of rands. And a year or two ago, we also reflected on the fact that EKURHELENI is the only metro in the country that does not have a university. And we have taken the decision, Uguti, we are going to build a university here in EKURHELENI. Because all the metros have a number of universities, or all the districts. So EKURHELENI will also get its own. And you heard about the cargo capacity that we are going to build. Airports company is going to invest 6 billion rand over the next 4 years to create this cargo facility and capacity. And we are going to proceed to ensure that we create many, many other opportunities. We are excited about the prospects for the Eastern Development Corridor, which includes 29 industrial initiatives under the banner of the EKURHELENI Aerotropolis. I got it right now, Aerotropolis. But with this fancy term, is the Aerotropolis. It sounds like airport police. But it is about creating this very important economic corridor for our country. And this is aimed at revitalizing manufacturing, aviation, logistics, and transport-linked industries as well. So greater investment in EKURHELENI is definitely going to lead to job creation. And EKURHELENI being part of Gauteng, you have heard how our Premier has been embarking together with national departments like Public Works, like Employment and Labor, on a number of important initiatives of creating public employment, like Nasispani. And it's a wonderful initiative that has already created job opportunities for many of our people. Those job opportunities give people an opportunity to get training, to get experience. Yeah, but we want our people to be fully and permanently employed. But as we deal with the unemployment challenge, we've got to make sure that the government, working together with the private sector, does increase jobs so that this joblessness must keep coming down. And so, as we said, we are also prioritizing support to small and medium enterprises, and particularly in the township economy initiative that has already been spoken about. Something I see is how shopping malls are springing up in our townships, but we want to see markets also coming up. Now, it's important that we should really gear up sufficiently here in EKURHELENI and unlock the entrepreneurship amongst our people, because entrepreneurship is in our blood. You know, when I walk around, when I go around here in EKURHELENI, nearly in every street, I see small businesses being run, as I said, in the homes of our people. So our focus is really to grow the economy, and Gauteng has a clear vision of where we should go. It's part of our national vision. And Gauteng, together with the various metros, and EKURHELENI specifically, it's an important player in the economy of our country, and that's what we are going to be focusing on. We want to create jobs and more jobs, and we are working very hard. As you heard the various ministers also talking and answering questions on a number of issues. And we want to improve our services which are made available to our people. We know that service delivery is one of the key challenges, and particularly water and electricity. And as you heard, we are going to be giving more focus on water. And Mayor has explained precisely the challenge, but also the initiatives. Building new reservoirs, increasing our bulk water delivery, as Minister also said. So we are going to be doing all those things, and also focusing on housing. Housing shortage is one of the challenges that many of our people face, and we will address that. Crime, criminality, which continues to rage in a number of places in our country, is now being dealt with. Minister Mkhunu is focusing together with his deputy ministers on how we can deal, yes, with extortion, the construction mafia, and how we can also deal with gender-based violence, so that those men who play football with the women of our country must stop, and we are going to be focusing on that. Ngihlala ngithi, gender-based violence is a pandemic, and we want it to be stopped, but our police are also working in a very focused manner. Now, we want our municipalities to work efficiently, and we therefore want our councillor aid. We should not be hearing continuously ukuthi abantu, they don't even know they are councillors. Leyo nto must come to an end. It's on to refer the councillors di kgetetswe ho sebeletsa setjhaba. Ba tshwantse hore ba itlhahise setjhabeng. and they must hold meetings with our communities. We must not wait for an Imbizo to come and hear our people raising their concerns. And the issue that Minister Buthelezi also spoke about professionalizing our public service, is a very important one, because we also, as the councillors, become more committed to their work. We want our public servants to also be committed to their work, so that we must not keep hearing these complaints. Uguti, our public servants, they are doing things that are out of the way. Like, for instance, corrupt activities, ukuthatha ichocho, ukwenza zonke lezo zinto. That must come to an end. We want our public servants to serve our people with great diligence. They must, as Minister Buthelezi said, be professional in the way that they serve our people. Similarly, our councillors as well. So we want to improve delivery of service, and we want that delivery of service to also focus on economic growth, on enhancing safety and security. And it must also ensure that our people get a better life. So as we leave here, think about the role we can all play together in shaping EKURHELENI. I think we've got a clear direction of where the mayor and those he works with, where they want to take EKURHELENI. There's a very clear vision. There are clear initiatives that are underway, and in our province as well, there are clear initiatives that are underway. So let us commit ourselves to work hand in hand with the national government as well.
That's it. You've heard it. That was the first presidential Imbizo of the 7th administration. As you can see behind me, the presidential motorcade is departing. The president has engaged with the people. He brought in the ministers, and there is some bit of hope in terms of resolving the pertinent issues affecting this community and advancing the province moving forward. So till next time, stay tuned to Beyond the Ballot. God bless you.
Do swear that I will faithfully and diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the high office.
So help me God.
Every year, the ministers pass resolutions that are tabled for adoption by the leaders.